So, morning guys, and welcome to P3D. So, back again in the PMDG 737 NGXu. Last night we did the flights from Boeing Fields to Washington Doors, the 737 production line factory, to PMDG's local airports. And so I said that this morning we'd try and do something more commercial, something more standard. And so, yeah, today we'll be flying the Norwegian 737 from Helsinki Vantaa to Oslo Gardermoen. So flight times will be about an hour and 40 minutes. It's not a super long flight, but we'll definitely get a bit of a chance to fly the aircraft around, see what it's like. Welcome, Harry. How you doing? And yeah, we'll set everything up and we'll get ourselves on our way. So we're in Norwegian colours. Echo India Foxtrot Juliet Kilo is our tail code. And should be a good one. Should be a good one. So we'll head into the cockpits. We will head over to the battery and emergency lights. Bring on the GPU, which will also then cut off the dome lights. And that should be that. Slightly older cockpits, given that we are in a slightly older aeroplane today. Well, this is not older, but it's Norwegian colours. So you got the older steam gauge backup instruments, and we've got no overhead panels. So this time, we could also probably bust out the eyebrow windows if we wanted to, but not for this one. Right, first things first, head to the FMS and set the aircraft all up. Because we have got the EFB, which we'll be using, as it's not the most difficult system to learn either. So head to FMC, we'll go set the two IRSs to nav. Data add dates, that's fine. I don't own Navigraph. Well, that being said, it's fairly active data that. And it's a bit more up to date than usual. 2010 data this. Right, so we are at Echo Foxtrot Hotel Kilo, Helsinki. We are at stand 30, as noted by that panel right there. Also gives us the RS position as well. So 1619, well that'd be 0.1, but it's 04. And it's 02457-8. Smart system that. It's right there. Easy to pick out where you are. Next, set up our flights. So origins Helsinki, Echo November Golf Mike, ENGM. Company route we won't use. Flight number is, if I grab this one, Delta 8301, and runway in use today. If we grab the weather, EFHK, it's 9 knots 130, so that would probably be a 04 departure. Helsinki, that would mean a 04 right. Perfect. So next page, we'll now plug in our routes for today. Not too much to do. It's a Devo. Then it's November 872 to Teb. Then it's November 623 to Essebar. And then it's so that's it actually. So activate that and execute. Flight plans down, put in. Has the RS already aligned? I'll check the settings later. I'll see if it's been set to the quick alignment. Okay, I'll set the traffic and weather up. Get the up there. Yeah, RS has actually aligned. That's fine. We'll damper bring on. Bring on the hydraulics as well as the anti-icing. And now, let us let's see. Before we start the EFB, we'll go through the FS actions, and we'll enjoy the ground services that we have to offer. So, next page. Request fuel. That will be 7677 kilos. Request the fuel truck. We are at a jet bridge, so if we now load up packs, and that gives us an idea of how many passengers we're going to bring with us today. So, Departure airport is EFHK. Arrival is ENGM. Time to take off, we'll say 15 minutes. Flight time, 1 hour 40. Cruising altitude of 36,000. With a flight number of, just had that a second ago, Delta 8301 for Norwegian. So this is Nortrans, the Irish subsidiary of Norwegian, as opposed to Red Nose, everybody's favourite transcontinental one. 125, I'll go a bit higher, 164. Aircraft has got Wi-Fi. I don't have any audio for the safety demonstration or boarding music, so you can live without that. Start. Let's take 150 on the target passengers. Start boarding, and now people start boarding the aircraft on there. Baggage handling, that's all fine. I mean, we'll request the forward loader and cart since we've got the forward cargo hold open. And then that looks like that for the ground services. So this is all default with the PMDG, which is pretty cool. And certainly it looks good. Certainly it looks good. So that comes to position. There should then be a not a fuel truck, sorry, there you go. Little cargo tractor coming down. Welcome alarm. VATSIM, yes, this is on VATSIM. Good morning, Goran. Did I have a second channel? Yes, my vlogging channel. I do need to get back onto it a little bit more, but it's a bit dead. Right, so was that the FMS2 just legs? FMS1, we'll get back to the setup. So, if we now go to performance, this is where it gets set up the calculator for the aircraft. So, airport search, we are at EFHK. Helsinki Vantaa. Runways, we've said we'll be passing 04 left. Conditions are at the moment dry. Weather is 18 degrees. So open the keyboard, type in 18. Current winds are, I've already requested weather, so I can grab that at 1309 knots. On backspace 130/9 with QNH of 1012. Thrust ratings, takeoff, flaps config, flaps 10, air conditioning will be off, and anti-ice off. Calculate that. We probably should grab our takeoff weight and center of gravities. We'll do that in a second. Takeoff weight will be... I'll grab my takeoff weights. Stay on here, won't it? That's fine. Okay, so got our V-speed sorted out. So we've got the runway, all that sorted out. So what I will do now is bring in the ZFW. Reserves 1.1, cost index of 23, nope, hang on, double check. Oh, it's 23, okay. 23. And then altitude cruising of 360. Even if I explain, can you see in the sim if you connect to a VATSIM? Yes, so depending on what simulator you use, as long as you're on the VATSIM network, you'll be able to see other aircraft flying. Do you think Ultimate release their maxing time soon? Not sure. Welcome Epic. How are you doing? And Coco asked one up for FSX. Level of detail basically. FSX being a 32-bit platform just doesn't hold up to the same standards as P3D does, being a 64-bit platform. And so FSX is prone to crashing these days when you run a fair few add-ons on it. And again, there's a lot that's going on in this aircraft, the PMDG NGXu. Alright, so, back to this. Cruising winds are... Where are they? Average winds 218 at 049. Plug that in. Transition altitude is 4,500. We're in Europe. And execute that. M1 limits, that's fine. And takeoff. So, using 10 degrees of flaps. Center of gravity is 26.1, so you can probably plug that in as well. Check keyboards. 26.1. It's not typing. 26.1. And then takeoff weight. I just need to figure out why that one comes into play. So 145. 147. It's gonna be slightly different speeds to the defaults. QRH numbers there, but that should be fine. Right, that's now sorted. We had plug in departure as well. Departure, I mean it's an Adavo departure. All these won't particularly do much. Oh, the runway's 22 right. No. Arrays, no. 04 rights. Yeah, erase all that. We'll just leave it as is. So init ref, bring the numbers back in. Vehicle speed is rejected. It is a direct stout anyway, so best not to mess with that. Right, was it 145, 147, 154. Set up 147 on the speed up here. And then set up cruising at 360 on both the altitude. And on the overhead as well. 360. Welcome Yag Nation, how you doing? Welcome Jamie, hope you're well. So, aircraft should now be fueling up. Just double check that. Menu, actions, ground services. Let's see, so aircraft. We never started fueling. Best we start that. Passengers are boarding, now got 76 of 150. As soon as the fuel truck's done, we can then remove the fuel truck. Again, it's a smart little system that. I mean, the Zybo does something similar with their recent upgrades on the tablet. But it's nice to see P3 someone can get some of these systems as well. But I mean, PMDG have always been great when it comes to their detail simulation. And their NGX hasn't seen too many upgrades in the last... When did it release? 2011. So last 8 years. It's a fresh new model this. The cockpit finally looks like a 737. That window's no longer super massive. And yeah, it genuinely looks really good. Switch over to hectopascals. And QNH was 1012. There we go. Co-pilot sides. We'll need to up as well. No, they are sinking. That's good to see. Right, that should be that for me now. At least until we get to, yeah, fueling's almost finished. Passengers are about halfway boarded. Packs, also in the boarding stage as well. Yeah, 7 minutes expected. Everyone's pretty satisfied right now. Can you start playing some more Train Simulator, not Train Sim Worlds? If you start playing the 2020, you can grab on the GML from Liverpool Streets to Shenfield and 315. I have to check what add-ons that requires. If I've got any of them, but if it's what people want, then sure, I can definitely put a bit more Train Sim 2020 on. Not Train, sorry, yeah, Train Sim 2020, not Train Sim World 2020. Two simulators with similar names. What do you do? Right, fuel truck is done. Fuel truck released. With the fueling sorted, we can add on the seatbelt sign. And same, I can then tell Pax to turn on the seatbelt sign. Has Pax died on me? Yeah, as much as I like Pax, it's a bit... Actually, it's not even awkward. It's just the way P3D is, the primary window takes over. We have got Helsinki Atis active. And we have got... Is that Finland Centre? Okay, so we're seeking to Finland Centre this morning. What are they tuned to? Listen to 80s first. 135.075. Oh, bye. And just quickly
Visibility 10 kilometers,
mute
broken
that.
600 feet. Temperature 6. Dew point 5 QNH1012. No significant change. Advise on initial contact. You have information alpha.
Right, information alpha, but I'll listen to that again, as I did miss the information there.
Information alpha. At time 0920, expect ILS approach arrival runway 04 right, clear and dry. Departure runway 04 left, clear and dry. Transition level 55. Wind 130 degrees 9 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers, broken 600 feet. Temperature 6. Dew point 5 QNH1012. No significant change. Advise on initial contact. You have information alpha.
Right. Student to Finland Centre. Let's speak to these guys, shall we? 121.3. I'm sure I'm actually on 121.3 maybe. 121.3.
Clear and dry. Transition level.
Kuomen to Finland Centre. This is Nortrans 301 requesting IFR copy to Oslo. Hang on, that was way too quiet. Sorry, say again for Nortrans 301.
Nortrans 301 VSS scale of 862. He just announced he's going to be clearing for just 1 or 2 minutes.
Oh gosh, I can't hear him. Let me turn this up. Let me try and turn the in-games down. Let's just mute that. Hang on. Sorry, I've muted sim sounds now. You're too quiet for me. Say again, Nortrans 301.
Nortrans 301, this is KLM 862. He just announced that he's going to be on AFK for a few minutes.
Ah, okay. Ah, okay. Thank you very much, KLM. Okay, so he's AFK. Is there a KLM in the airspace somewhere nearby? I can pre-check it. No. Okay. We'll wait for the Finland Centre to jump back in, then we'll go speak to them. I presume then it's so quiet, it's because again it's a VHF simulation, so the further he is from the aircraft, the quieter the volume is. So it makes sense at the end of the day. It does make sense. It's definitely information alpha. The scrolling text at the top, we ignore that basically. Back. Okay, perfect. Let's speak to this guy again. Kuomen Finland Centre. This is Nortrans 301 with you at Helsinki, requesting IFR clearance to Oslo. We have information alpha.
Oslo Helsinki Control, hello. Clear to Gardermoen at Oslo, runway 04 right.
04, right, okay.
Standby.
Standby.
Yes, 04 right, Adivo 3 Charlie. Adivo 3 Charlie, departure initially 4,000 feet and your squawk code 0210.
Right. Cleared to Oslo Gardermoen, departing runway 04 right via the Adivo 3 Charlie departure, initial 4,000, squawking 0210 for Nortrans 301.
Nortrans 301, clearance correct.
021, sorry, 2012 2. Sorry, 0212. Oh gosh. 0210. That's fine. Ensure 4000. And of 03 Charlie departure. We've got that, otherwise it pretty much is exactly what we've got already. 04 right, execute that. Perfect. Yes, definitely a fin there. Speaking the classic rally English. Right, well, I'm now ready to depart. Actually, am I? Have got passengers on board. So let me check that first. Menu, FS actions, grounds operations. Nope, sorry, not ground operations, ground services. Oh, yep, 150 of 150. So we will now clear everything up. Jetway plug, that's fine. Since APU is active, we don't need the GPU anymore. Ground power released. Switchless is actually active. Left fuel pumps for the we don't quite have power yet, didn't we? I'm an idiot. Okay. We'll plug the ground power unit back in again so I can start up the APU. Yep, we've lost connection to the IRS. Yep, I'm an idiot. I thought we had the APU running. We obviously didn't. We haven't lost anything at least, that's fine. So, left fuel pump's active. APU starts. Secure the exits while those starts. FS actions, doors, closed door, closed door. Okay, I can't close the forward cargo because we've still got the tug there. FS actions, ground services, release, release. Doors closing, perfect. That's the APU starting. I'll stabilize in a second. Power onto the APU. APU bleeds on. Right, now it's time for the ground power. And now we can disconnect it from the aircraft. So, return. Ground services. Ground power release. Next one will then be pushback. Self-drive. Select tug. If all goes to plan, now... Ooh, it does move. Just can turn it sideways. I can't move it backwards and forwards. Ah, is it on my Xbox controller? Is that why? I'm not sure. Okay, I can live without it, I guess. We'll do it at some point in the future. I just need to figure out what the key commands for those are. But obviously that's yaw. That's not up and down. What would that be then? One of the axes. We'll work it out later. Yeah, we'll reset this again. So runway to EFHK. Now on runway 04 right. Conditions dry. Flaps 10. Off. Off, frustrating takeoff. Winds are 1309. Temperature is 18. QNH 1012. lights. And those speeds again should match 147. Inlet ref 145, 146 now. 147, 154. Perfect. Now being 1-4 right is a slightly shorter runway, and as a result, you do get slightly less on that. Right, let us start pushback, shall we? Nortrans 301 is ready for push and start stand 30 at Helsinki.
Northern 301, push and start approved, facing southwest.
Push and start approved, facing south for Nortrans 301.
Southwest.
Correction, southwest. So nose turn right, that's fine. Open up, whoops, this. Back to menu 1 last time for pushback. This won't be a south drive, we'll do a standard L, nose right, 90 degrees. Say 150 on the straight line.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead. We've been cleared for pushback and start. They want the tail.
KLM 862, Lima space, system Unicom 122.8. Liikenne Sepänapod.
Welcome Bristol Aviation, how you doing? So the pushback tug's now connecting. We'll start that in a second. One final check of the overhead, make sure everything's looking good. Which it does. I'm sure the interphone's actually on as well, so we can actually hear him talking. 360, it should be set to 147 for rotates. Some of the flight directors as well.
Brakes released.
Parking brakes released.
Was 100 Lima space, system Unicom 122.8. Have a nice day.
There we go. This time it is moving. So obviously what happened last time, simulator had decided to just die on us. Right, engine 2, start up. Switch speeds around, sorry. Engine 2 starts. Engine 2. Engine 1, sorry. Start as well. With interesting angle they've taken us. It's only a bit more than 90 degrees, I think. Although it's kind of in line with the taxiway in front of us, so could be worse. Engine 1 starts.
Pushback complete. Parking brake, please.
Parking brake set.
Brake set.
Do you know anything similar to better pushback on P3D? Apparently Ground Services X, GSX is a better pushback kind of style to it. Problem is, I don't know how to use it, and last time I did it, froze the whole simulator out. But, yeah, look at GSX, it's about as close as you can get to Ground Services on P3D. Right, both engines are active. We'll then switch the engines around, switch the bleeds, packs on, APU off, and that is that. Flaps down to 10 degrees. Trim is 4.23. So actually that's pretty much already what it's set to now. There we go. Stick these on the legs. And back to the tablet, so I can quickly go to utilities and scratch pads. Nortrans 301 is ready to taxi. There we go.
Nortrans 301, taxi via Victor Golf left Solo, holding 04 right.
Taxiing Victor Golf, then on to left Zulu, holding 04 right for Nortrans 301.
Control.
So Victor Golf, now left, Zulu, 04 right. Switch back to here, go to airport map, and zoom in. So there's Zulu. Hang on. That's stuck to the aircraft, isn't it? Well, not stuck to the aircraft, but it sensed to it. That's fine. Brakes released. Taxi lights active. So that's the runway, shall we? Yeah, a lot of people have commented on the taxiing this aircraft being a bit too slippery, but I've not noticed too much of an issue with it. At least doing it at least if you're doing it gently, in that case, worst case scenario, just turn down sensitivity and you'll be alright. At the end of the day, if you're turning an aircraft sharply to the left, which you expect, I'd then turn sharply to the left. I mean, I've enjoyed the NGXu so far. It is a fantastic aircraft, this, and yeah, I don't really see too many issues with it. I mean, there are problems. I mean, especially when we did the yesterday stream, we noticed that the holding doesn't actually work at all. But for the most part, it seems to be doing a job. So carry on down to the end of this taxiway, and it's on to left Zulu. Very hard short for departure. Alright, we'll put a little bit more throttle in just to get a bit of speed up. Right, there's a new route from Lappenranta to Budapest. And they've got quite a few new Lappenranta routes coming in right there. Just saying that none of them are into London, because if it was, I'd be using that on the weekly, basically. Doing Heathrow to Seattle in a 7-4. Enjoy it, man. Enjoy it. How is the PMDG 7-4, Queen of the Skies? I want to get it, but I've not yet done so. And given that I'm now using probably P3D a little bit more often, there's a good chance I could try and use it again in the future. Right, so I'll spot my Charlie now, just as we get closer to the runway. More at it. Let's do a TCAS tests.
TCAS test pass.
Perfect. Ryanair flies to London Stansted. London Stansted's Ryanair's home base. It's their most busiest airport. So I'd hope so, especially because tomorrow, Sunday, I'm actually flying to Milan with Ryanair from London Stansted. Definitely recommend. Sounds good. Definitely have a look at it. Welcome. Boeing is boring. Nice username there on Twitch. How you doing? Welcome. Is that Pam here, plays? Yes. How you doing? Welcome channel. Welcome to chats. So we're almost completing our taxi. Runway's right there. On the left. The throttle slightly. Make this right hand turn. Hold short of the runway. Quite sharp brakes, need a bit too sharp for my liking. I'll adjust those later. Thought Ryanair's hub was that's whiskey. Oh yes, so Dublin's their local airport, given that they're an Irish airline. But have a look at Ryanair hubs. They've got like about 50 of them around Europe. And Lopenranta, back in 2009, was supposed to become a Ryanair hub, but the Finavia blocked it and installed the airports to Lopenranta city itself directly. So it's no longer a Finavia airport. Nortrans 301 is holding short of runway 04 right, ready to depart.
Nortrans 301, wind 130 degrees 8, runway 04 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, Nortrans 301. Right, so that's to eject takeoff. Landing lights active, turn off active, taxi lights are off. Leg lights and all that's off as set. Let's go. Welcome Kamlesh, how you doing? Welcome channel, welcome chat, welcome Orjay, how you doing? Yeah, Ryanair's base is Dublin, they have 20 other bases. So Stansted forms their main UK base, London Stansted. If it wasn't for Ryanair, Stansted probably would have shut down years ago, to be fair. I mean, there's no particular terminals, but Stansted has got 4 wings. 2 of them is basically dedicated to Ryanair aircraft. The 2 northern ones. Right, yesterday I couldn't figure it out, so I'll try again today. Don't need that anymore. Performance, you can bring that up. Throttle active, N1. Yeah, N1's not setting. If I was to do that, would it work? No. Okay. We'll figure out the N1 another time. For now, we'll just go for standards. Both engines stable. Let's go. Are you disturbing me? Not particularly, don't you worry. Don't you worry. V1.
Rotate.
Rotates.
B2.
V2. Positive right, gear up. And there we go. There goes Helsinki Vantaa. Right, back to the actual cockpit. 1000, set up the LNAV and VNAVs. That comes on. Gears up, lock gear. That's up to 5 degrees. Checks takeoff brakes will turn off. Again, Ryanair have about 20 bases dotted around Europe, so it's only 2 of 20, Dublin and Stansted. Nortrans 301 is passing through 3000. Climb to 360 for Nortrans 301. So in a little bit, we'll then switch over to standard altimeter. So a little bit of turbulence here in the climb out, but ultimately it's not too bad. Oh yes, and precipitate effects, adding their wind vortexes. Again, I do miss precipitate effects. Their aircraft setup, it looks fantastic. Set standard altimeter. Directs Pepig for Nortrans 301. Alright, so we got directs to Pepig. So we're just about breaking out of the turbulence hopefully soon. Aircraft's taking a bit of a battering, but it seems to be alright. Outside flyby's what I wanted. I do love this aircraft. I think during yesterday's stream, I was just kind of setting it all up, making sure that it all looks proper and works properly. Last night after stream ended, I had a bit more time to kind of just mess around with it and tweak things, both settings-wise and aircraft-wise. I think we're now getting to a point where it's certainly starting to look pretty good. Am I starting to be a pilot? It's on hold at the moment due to funding, but I am doing an NPPL M-type. So only be a hobby license, because I don't plan to go commercial anytime soon, but I do plan to get a pilot's license, yes. Big question, is Airbus better than Boeing? No, I'm a Boeing fan myself. And my favourite aircraft is the 737 Classic series, the Dash 400. Love it. And the NGs as well. Do like these things as well. I mean, it's the classic aeroplane, the Boeing 737 NGs. They are just the classic aeroplane. You look at a silhouette of an aeroplane or a picture online, usually it will be a 737 or a 747. So yeah, I've always been more pro Boeing than Airbus. I mean, I still fly an Airbus. For example, on the X-Plane, you'll see me flying the Totus A319 a fair bit, but I'm more up there with the Boeings. Okay, good. Is that how you judge people? Airbus or Boeing? I need to readjust the livery slide so that rear tail note code is facing the right way around. Everything else isn't half bad. Helsinki's now behind us. There's Finnair A321 down here. Sorry, Finnair commercial jet, because they don't have the licensing for Airbus. Oh, Lockheed Martin, #1 competitor. Yeah, that'll be a Finnair right here. Don't mean to be against me, but you're a fan of 320 don't worry about it, don't worry. Again, two sides to every argument, which we very much found out yesterday's stream. But people have their own favourites. And I'm not here to force you to like one over the other, don't you worry. Passed through Flight 180, 18,000. Pretty off the seatbelts actually at this stage, because we have passed the rest of the turbulence. And same for packs. Seatbelt sign off. That's while we're at it. Have a look at what the passengers are right now. They're all satisfied. A couple of upset passengers apparently. Not sure why they're down. Nah, majority of it seems alright. Is P3D CPU dependent like FSX? Yes, but not as much. The Lockheed Martin guys have done a bit of work to make it slightly more GPU dependent. And so while it's not 100%, it still is slightly more CPU heavy. Although they have sorted out the issue of CPUs, where back in FSX the whole simulator would run on just a single core. P3D is now a little nicer at spreading the workload across all of the system cores. What do you think's better, X11 FSX or P3D? Well, first of all, FSX is out of the picture because P3D is an improvement of FSX. I mean, as much as I enjoy FSX, it was my main simulator for a good 10 years. You have to look at the upgrade, which is P3D. So out of those two, it depends what you're looking at, because they're both good at some things, which the other ones are terrible at. So X-Plane 11 is fantastic for its nighttime scenery, its flight dynamics as well, blade element theory, that is spot on. And its visuals, I do like X-Plane's visuals. P3D, when it comes to system depth, systems in this simulator is usually pretty good, especially for some of the add-ons out there. Very, very well made. As well as systems, you've got like model quality. I mean, the models here generally slightly higher quality as well, I'd say, compared to X-Plane 11. And while it's not so great at flight dynamics, just using data tables entirely as opposed to any form of air simulation, which is again blade elements, X-Plane uses that. Also, visuals, while it's good, it doesn't do scale too well. I mean, what, we're at 22,000. Where are we at? 24,000. This does not look like 20,000. This looks like we've just climbed out and we're maybe at 5,000 most. P3 and FSX never did the sense of scale right. So like I say, it may depend on what do you want in a flight simulator and what do you get out of it. Systems or visuals. quite a long reply, thanks. No worries, man. No worries. Like, if anyone else has a question, wants to ask anything, feel free to. I'm always down for a chat. Passing through 27,270. There's no Sweden control yet. Still Finland centre. Let's see if anyone else is shooting later. The glider mission is really hard to complete on FSX. Have you tried it? No. I never really did any missions in FSX. There are a couple of good ones. There weren't one main kind of right. So top climbs now just appearing about 30 miles. A little bit of wind flex there from turbulence, but nothing too major. Weather does look fairly calm moments. Clouded over, given that it is now winter in Finland. But nothing too major just yet. There we go, now reaching our next waypoint, Pepik, which was the direct Finland control gave us. Have a look at the project flight map. We should actually think about leaving Finnish airspace in a little bit. Yeah, we'll leave Finnish airspace. I'm going to get tunes to Unicom. So I don't think we'll be contacting Sweden. They seem to be offline. Do cross over Stockholm. And then make our way to Oslo. So yeah, I can imagine there'll be a right hand turn at some point. So it gets back over to north, yes it does. I mean the flight time in total is about an hour and a half. Cruising time won't be more than 50 minutes. May I know what country you belong to, because my accent sounds like Harry Potter. Yes, I am British. Yes. I've not heard anyone call me, call my accent like Harry Potter before. It's a first for everything. Yeah, I am British. Born here in London. Lived my entire life. I'm half Polish. But, yeah, definitely more Brit than me than Paul. How much might this cost me overall? I'd say about £700. I mean, I don't exactly have the top spec PC in the world, but it can run most games at high settings. Some we may have to tune down to medium, for example P3D, because for whatever reason this game is still a CPU hog. But yeah, I can run most games at a decent spec. The GTX 1660. not a bad card. It's not too expensive. I need something that was cheap, but as much as I'd like to get the RTX 20k series, it's not going to happen. Too much. Too much. So yeah, settle for the 1660. It's a decent spec card. It runs games pretty well. It does what I need. Right, so now coming up to 350, we'll hear the 1000 to go buzzer. And that brings us to our cruising altitude of 360 today. We'll probably then speak to the passengers for the first time, since we should say hello to them. And then we'll carry on as that goes. There we go. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking from the flight deck. We've just reached our cruising altitude of 36,000 feet, which is about 11,000 metres in the air, 11 kilometres. And we're cruising along at about 800 miles per hour. As we continue our cruise, our flight attendants will happily serve you. And for any questions, please feel free to ask them. Otherwise, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flights. 'cause that sun's getting their clearance. An EasyJet nearby as well, commercial jets. They're currently on the ground. So like I say, I'm expecting the transition away shortly. Who's that? Chris here's flying the ATR 72. So now over the this is North Sea as opposed to the Baltic Sea. And yes, I've got FreeMesh X download but I haven't installed it yet. I'll get that sorted out soon. I'm trying to think, what other islands do I have that should be compatible with P3D for my WebPSX days? And how far can I go in terms of building the simulator? What language is he speaking? He's speaking English, so I hope you could recognise it. Yeah, he's speaking English, but he is a Finnish national, you can tell by the accents. So he's from Finland, but speaking English. Welcome, Idas. How you doing? How you doing? Join us shortly after departure from Helsinki. Well on our way to Oslo. So yeah, apparently we're about 40 minutes away from touchdown, although again that won't take into account the approach. Won't cause too much of an extra time. Really deep voice. Finns have it. All Finns have the very similar accent. It's because they're speaking rally English. So because the way the Finns talk, their vowels aren't as pronounced as, say, in British. As a result, they kind of just merge words together and just make noises, which sound like English, and people generally understand them. So if you have a look at interviews with 1980s Finnish rally drivers, that's where the term kind of came about, as rally English. Now, I've been to Finland once, went there last summer. And I am set to go there again in December, next month actually. Try to recognise your Asian country. Melch, yeah. I'd say Middle East. I couldn't put a country on it. Age mid-teens. And that is just by going from your name alone. Is it Middle East? Nah. I'm trying to think, where's the surname Yar most common? I don't think it's Asians per se. His name's a little bit longer. Yeah, by just going from a name, it's a bit difficult. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never seen such a short Indian surname before, truth be told. Micromax live stream. See you later. No worries, Pamir plays. See you later. It's likewise. If you guys are on Discord, feel free to join that as well. There's been a lot of discussion actually on the server recently about the new NGX and the pros and cons against it. So if you guys are interested in a bit of a chat on that, feel free to jump along. I'm sure you'll all enjoy it. Got to say, for 11 years old, English not your native language, you're doing pretty good at it. You probably speak better English than I do, to be fair. I actually noticed that, especially when you go to another country, you speak English to someone, they do speak better English than me, because for me, I'm not really thinking about what I'm saying, it's just noise that comes out my mouth. But for people who don't speak it natively, as they're thinking more of it, it's a lot more to say. You feel it's like a remodel of the old NGX. The thing is, thank you for subscribing, FSB77, much appreciated. When you think about it, how much difference is a Boeing 737 from a Boeing 737? They've had a bit of stick about the similarities to the old NGX. At the end of the day, they're both representing the exact same aircraft. The start switches, even Zyber did it right. Because again, it's a Boeing 737, how different can you get? No worries, Kamelsh, hope to talk to you later. Bye bye. Switch to Unicom 12.8 for Nordtrans 301. Herver Pyvan Yatoka. I probably said that horribly wrong, but hey. 1228. Hang on, why did I switch to 128.8? Take a few of those away. Perfect. Thank you for following on Twitch. Drew is the best. Thank you very much, man. All you see now is C, and probably for the next 2 hours. Yeah, welcome to Transcontinental. Start switches should be popped out, like that on the NGXu. Okay, to that experience. Start switches should be popped out. I mean, they are kind of popped out. You just get to position, look at them close up. Yeah, they do stick out slightly. Don't you worry. Oh yeah, alright, turning one doesn't really do the animation like that. Yeah, fair play, doesn't pop. Oh, sorry, what are you saying on Twitch there, sorry? i5 keyboard? No, no way. There's no way I'd fly the NGX in in the keyboards. I'm flying with the Cytec Pacific Aviator stick. It's a cheap piece of plastic, but it does the job. No, we're flying with a joystick, not keyboard. Go back to here now, so don't need takeoff information anymore. Balance, we can set up the so this way you get all the weights and all that. Okay, I'll remember that for the future. Read from aircrafts. Put all the numbers in. Oh, that is nice. Leave your cargo on boards. Other and fuel on boards. And just a chart down below the operating envelope for the aircraft's limits. What else have we got? We've got landing, which will be at Echo November Golf Mike. Might as well deal with later. So that will plug in. Let's get closer to Oslo. Go through utilities again. So don't need this anymore. Times of conversions, weights, lengths, speeds, calculators. Yeah, again, got really confused yesterday. Calculator, my mind just went kaput on me there. 22 times 11, it's 242, not 222. Ah, welcome back, Kamelsh. Kamlesh, sorry. Welcome back. What's your idents? It's got today's date on it, November 19th. So it's reading the information, time there, 10:55. Terminal charts, documents, video. Yes, I've got video, so I can view the galley area for the cabin. It's fun little EFB that, I do like it. An airport map, since we are no longer in. Hang on, show menu. There. So if I go for airport search, Echo Golf, whoops, Echo November Golf Mike, and then that gives me the airport map for Oslo. So I've got a feeling we'll be landing on runway, it could be 19. I get a weather check for Oslo. WX Gardermoen. Right, so it's currently 11 knots at 010. Okay, so now we're runway 01. Yeah, 01 left. We're landing today. As it stands with the current wind speeds. Did you see aircraft model 737-800s? I thought it was air conditioner model 738s. Yeah, this is an aircraft model 738. At least I'd hope so. As my entire life has been a lie. So we should now actually be getting quite close to Stockholm. On the coast of Sweden now. Look below, so you'll be able to see some of the snow-covered plains. Yeah, Stockholm, not too far ahead of us now. We'll be flying over the airport as it stands. We're flying over one of them. Let's bring up airport information. There you go. Stockholm Arlanda is to our right. Stockholm, I forget which one SB is, it's to our left. And then Stockholm. The other one in Nyköping. Get the name of that one, but there you go. ESTA. This is in the distance there up north. It's not waypoint, sorry, I'll get airports. Do you remember when you did live stream before watching? It was Rated Drawyah. Ah, yes. Gosh, that was a long time ago. Yes, I do remember that one. Where did I fly to again? It was a European one. I think maybe a Ryanair. Can't remember which route it was, but yes, I do remember that. And to be fair, even now I'm still getting like 4 viewers. I don't exactly grow, I kind of stagnate. That's how I do on YouTube. I stagnate. We've got a Nax there. That would be Norwegian Air Red Nose. As I'm in India Bravo Kilo, I'm a Nortrans Norwegian. Red Nose and Nortrans, both under Norwegian, but 2 separate divisions of it. One's for European short haul low cost, the other one's for international long haul low cost. And that being said, in January, when I fly back to the UK from Helsinki, I booked a flight with Norwegian, but yesterday I got an SMS saying that the flights will no longer be operated by Norwegian, but by Jet Time instead. Obviously that's down to the fact that the Maxes aren't back in service, which could have meant that had the Max been flying, I would have flown it in January. There's still time. Sorry, but it does look unlikely now. But hey, Jet Time. Never flown them before. Likely never will again. So once in a lifetime. But I am still very excited for the 717 flight I've got in January. What's the schedule for streams? I'm not sure which one of them. I try and stream on a Saturday mornings, like I'm doing right now. Saturday mornings, UK time. I want to start doing a Saturday evening stream as well. Maybe something in Train Simulator. And tomorrow as I'm flying in the real world, I'd also plan to have a YouTube premiere. Going side by side with this as well. So the premieres kind of act as the, I want to say middle ground. So, it's a pre-recorded stream, but follows that my real world flights. Down to like the minute, so time of takeoff I try and match, time of landing I try and match, the route I try and match as well. And so, tomorrow I fly to Milan, it's a day trip, so I'd fly out in the morning, return in the evening. I have got them ready in a Zybo, but I might actually redo them in this, just for the sake of keeping some continuity going with the new NGXu. And again, it's a fun little aircraft this, I am enjoying this a lot. Not perfect, but certainly getting there. Am I a real world pilot because he's in professionalism? No, I'm not. So as far as I go, we'll be eventually training towards a hobby license, an NPPL-M, which allows me to fly microlight aircraft around the UK and France. But I don't plan to go commercial. And as a result, no, I'm not a real world pilot, I'm afraid. At least not yet. Did you ever try? I never wanted to. Never tried because it's too expensive. I mean, unless anybody has 80 grand I can have, it's not gonna happen, I'm afraid. As much as I'd like to take a bank loan out, 80 grand of debt doesn't sound too fun. Right, so we reach our next waypoint, Oz, in about a minute. Less now, actually, only about 3.5 miles out. And that'll be a right-hand turn, bring us back towards the north again, closer to Oslo. Top of the Sent's not too far actually now, it's about 45 miles out. And so we should possibly look at getting our approach in. Like I say, I expect to arrive on runway 01 right, was it? 01 left, sorry. And that will be via the Esper for Lima approach. That's according to our Simbrief flight plan. Yes, we'll be landing down here. But if you could spend more than £700 on a simulator, why didn't you try it in real life? I mean, like I say, I have got real-world flight hours. I am trying to do a hobby license, which only costs me £6,000 at most. But spending £700 on a simulator, or £70,000 on a license, two whole worlds, two very different worlds. It's a good looking aircraft, this. It's a new PMDG model. Certainly looks the parts. Not that I'm a passenger, shall we? Something to get a bit of time while we're airborne. Let's open the PAX window. Satisfaction satisfied. Everyone seems alright. Nobody's upset anymore. Apart from Derek Tucker. And what I've done to you, Derek, to make us upset. As well as Rainy Gilbert as well. But most seem alright now. Expects arrival 38 minutes. Seems to be alright in the cabin so far. A bit too talkative. See too many questions. Please stop from so if you're irritated. Don't worry at all. The more questions, the merrier. I'm gonna say the only reason I stream my flights is just to kill the monotony of it, really. I mean, I can fly this route anytime I want, but for what purpose other than sitting here alone, staring at a screen for an hour? At least by streaming, someone else can also enjoy the flights. And likewise, someone that I can chat to as well, someone to again kill the time a bit. And the flight I did last night, that was 4 hours across the North of America. I mean, I can sit there for 4 hours and do absolutely nothing, or I can be the centre of an argument and watch the comments go crazy over whether or not this is an aircraft that should be for release or just an update to the old one. That was a long conversation. Right, so about to hit our top of descent shortly, 20 miles out. Less than a minute, apparently. So yeah, let me reset the NCP altitudes. Those are intercepts for the glide slope. There's no ATC, so we're going in down on our own. Missions no discontinuities as well, preferably. 3,500. Welcome Martin, how you doing? Welcome channel, welcome to the chats. Well, it's just in time for top of descent. So, what was the name of the approach we said we're going to go on to? Descending from flight level 360 for Echo Golf. So Echo November Golf Mike. Approach via SB for Lima for runway 01 left. There you go. So we announced our intentions to descend. And in just a couple of seconds, the aircraft will now go and do that for us. Actually, a couple of seconds is more like a minute. Is it night in the UK? Nope, it's 11 AM. The sun's up, it's cloudy, but no, it's not night. Right. Let's make an approach, shall we? Here's another aircraft in frequency, a Scandinavian, also making an approach into Oslo. So as long as we keep an eye on those, we'll be able to, as long as we know where they are, we'll be able to avoid them if need be. I've got our traffic radar active, so that's not a problem. In India it's currently 4 PM. Yeah, because you guys have a interesting plus GMT 5.5. Where for whatever reason, rather than being on the hour, you've obviously got an extra 30 minutes, an extra half hour on top of your time zone. I've never understood it, because nowhere else is the 30-minute zone, apart from Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Even then, they readjusted their time to sit with South Korea about 2 years ago. Yeah, config 30 flaps will be 1103, 013, 110.3, 110.3, 013, 013. So what have I done there? I've clicked on something. Uh-oh, simulator has lost connection. I hope it's not crashed. I don't know what I've clicked on. Of course. Yes, it's called the NGXu. Well, that is annoying. Simulator has crashed. I'm not sure what I clicked on, which caused it to crash, but everything has now died on me, so that is the end of that. Right, well I hope you enjoyed the live stream regardless, because I don't think P3D has an autosave feature that will be much help to us. I can check it out. And if it does have an autosave feature, how would it, let's have a look, shall we? Before I give up, we'll load it all up again. In post, I can always cut the crash. Loads. Is there a previous flight plan? got defaults, previous flights. But it thinks I'm in the F22. There's no. When was it saved? At 9 AM this morning. Nope, that won't be us then. Okay, I'm afraid there's no hope for us. That is that. Case and save MP3 automated down series flight. Okay, I'm gonna get that straight away. Well, that's the end of this live stream, I guess. Cheers for the heads up, Danish flyer. I'll do this flight again, or I'll do another flight later on. We'll see. We'll have a look. Alright, well, thanks for watching, and I will see you soon. I'll do like I said, I'll stream again later today. Different route, different scenario, and just hopefully get this one down. Bye bye.